This episode of Access to the Arts is being made possible through the support of First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together.
I mean, we couldn't do what we do without First Bank and how supportive they have been throughout the years.
I've had a very good experience working with First Bank. They have been there really with all kinds of different things that I do in my life.
We consider First Bank Richmond a good friend. They're there to help us sponsor our signature events. You always are out there to help each other out.
Besides the business part of it, we just get along really well. And it's beyond a working relationship.
It's Access to the Arts. I'm Dave Paxton, joined now by Lance Crow, Richmond Art Museum. Lance, thank you for joining us on the show.
Happy to be here.
Isn't it nice to be back and be able to talk about the arts?
Absolutely.
Talk about anything, in fact.
It is.
But specifically, we're going to talk about the arts here. But let's first spend a little time on how, over the past year and 2 months, the Richmond Art Museum adapted and was able to continue and even grow a little bit through the pandemic.
Yes. Well, it was a little tough, and we had a little bit of time where we were talking about what we're going to be doing. But fortunately, before the pandemic hit, we were able to receive some funding through partnership with IU East and money from the Wayne County Foundation, the Empower Wayne County grant, to get a vehicle for the museum. And we called that vehicle the R.A.M. Van Go. And so it serves a dual purpose for the museum. It allows us to move art when we need to for conservation or picking up exhibits or different things like that. But also, this van has allowed us through this pandemic to take our Art Is program, which was canceled in person because we couldn't have so many students in the museum because we were closed, to take that program to each of the schools that would normally participate. And so it offered us some flexibility with creating a virtual Art Is experience this year. And so I was very happy that we were able to kind of continue that program, even though it looked a little different. We still had it. Yeah,
but it still achieved the purpose, and that is getting art in front of students, getting art exposed, getting those students exposed to art, and maybe sparking a little bit of creativity that some of the kids maybe never thought they had.
Absolutely. We find that oftentimes the Richmond Art Museum is the only museum, one of, if not the only museum, that a lot of students from this area ever experience in their life. And so we want to make that first experience a great one. And so this allowed us to be in front of students, like you said. We had some video components. We partnered with R.A.M College and their Chinese language program, and so we had some videos of Chinese students doing dancing and painting and calligraphy, and so these were students that were K through third grade age, so their own age students were performing for these kids, and it was really a neat experience that we were able to put together.
So as we're talking about kids, let's talk about the Young Artist Camp.
Yes.
You've got that on the schedule all summer long, but you've actually got one coming up, in about a week or so, right?
Yeah, we're getting really close to the first one. Week of June 14th is the first week of camp, and it's a little different this year, kind of easing back into it. So it's going to be just a half a day A.M. camp, 9 to noon, and it actually is going to be off-site from the Richmond Art Museum because there's some updates going on at where we normally would have it at the Richmond High School art classrooms. So we're going to be off-site at the Reed Presbytery, the Reed Presbyterian Memorial Church, and they've been gracious enough to partner with us and host us and give us some space there. So we're real happy to be able to get camps going back again. So we have 3 weeks of camp this year.
And the camp itself gets the students involved in making art. It's hands-on.
Absolutely. This is an immersive camp. It's fully a creative camp, and they do multiple mediums. So, they get to draw, they get to paint, they get to do some sculpture work, they get to do mixed media work, a variety of different projects, all led by artists and teachers. So we've got some great teachers lined up. Teresa Goss is going to be teaching for us, who's a longtime art teacher and a great person, and also our artist Santina Reed is going to be teaching one of the weeks of camp. So it's going to be quality instruction in a lot of different mediums and very hands-on from day one.
You mentioned mixed media. Is that? That's a new term that I haven't come across.
Okay.
Or maybe I have, but you'll explain it, and then I'll go, oh, that's what that is.
Right. So actually, one of our own artists, India Cruse-Griffin, is a mixed media artist. So that means mixing the medium. So you paint, you incorporate ink. Oftentimes, mixed media artists will incorporate like magazine pages or photographs or different elements to create that finished piece of work.
Outstanding. So you said the Young Artist Camp, first week is coming up the week of the 14th, and then you've also, is it basically the next in 3 weeks?
So we skip into June. So there's one camp
in June,
and then we skip into July.
Okay.
I think it's the week of the 12th, and then the week of the 26th. That last week, kind of before we get back into school, we've found is a good week to offer camp.
And anyone who wants to be involved with that, how do they go about signing their child up?
So online registration is super easy. You just go to richmondartmuseum.org and click on the classes, and you'll find the camp. It's one of the only things that's on there right now. As we continue to schedule workshops, that will populate, but it's very easy to find. If you have trouble, just contact me via email or call the museum. We'll be happy to help you find that.
Outstanding. Lance Crow, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.
This episode of Access to the Arts is being made possible through the support of First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together.